Welcome back to Ton of Fits Podcast, The Blueprint, the series where we sit down with creatives shaping the culture around women's basketball. When we talk about Ton of Fits, most of the conversation is centered around the clothes, the sneakers, or the stylist behind the look. On today's episode, we have Danii Uke, an athlete's makeup artist. She's building her own lane at the intersection of sports and beauty. Her work has included athletes like Kalia Copper, Jersey Robinson, and brands like Gatorade. In this conversation, we get into how she found her way into the industry, the products she swears by, and what she'd buy if we dropped her in Ulta or Sephora. We also talk about DiJonai Carrington, and if y'all watch DiJonai, she plays the full 40 minutes and that makeup doesn't budge. While DiJonai is not one of her clients, we talk about what it takes for DiJonai to create that look that doesn't budge. This was a fun conversation. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Follow the IG. Let's get into it. If you're undecided or headed to Chicago for All-Star Weekend, stop by the Drip Social Party that Thursday, July 23rd. It's going to be a vibe. I'll be there. Clever Shirts will be there. Lifted Legacy will be there. And Drip Social throws bangers. If you don't believe me, head over to the IG page and you can see the recap from last year. Use code TUNNEL26 for a little discount and meet me there. I'm so glad you're here with us. We're going to talk about some stuff. You are a phenomenal MUA, and season is the blueprint. So we want to get behind the scenes and talk to people who are doing the work that don't necessarily get the recognition. Mm-hmm. So talk to us about where you are right now and some of the things you've done maybe this year.
Okay, so I am a makeup artist for athletes, and I've worked really hard to get my hands on as many athletes as possible. And right now, I'm working on just kind of like building my own platform, bringing some attention to the beauty side of things, and highlighting people who work in glam, so hairstylists, even stylists to a certain extent, especially when it comes to things like the Met Gala or red carpets, being able to pull those heels and those dresses, and then makeup artists is like just like me. And I just really want to cultivate a space, an environment that's healthy for people who are coming from the beauty industry to feel heard, to feel seen, and to kind of understand the atmosphere that we're working in, understand the athletes and what they want and how they see themselves. And that's kind of what I've been working on with my content and with what I've been putting out. And some things that I've done, I've worked with a lot of Nike athletes signing. So I've worked with soccer and basketball. A prominent name that you might recognize is Jersey Robinson. She just signed with SC. So I've been working with her for a couple years, and we just wrapped for the A2 that dropped on May 2. We did that in South Carolina. So getting opportunities like that, getting to work with the younger generation for me is so much fun. Getting to work with the younger generation in soccer, especially since things move so fast in soccer, is so much fun. And just kind of being present for what the future professional industry of sports holds. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been working on this year. A lot of soccer, a lot of basketball NIL space, and still always, plugged into the WNBA. I love them.
So for you, like, let's talk about your beginnings, right? When did you kind of start going down this path, and what was the thing that made you want to go down this path?
That's a special question. I think a lot of things were at play. I wanted to work in the fashion industry. Right now, Devil Wears Prada is coming out with their second movie, and that was like a big thing for me as a kid. I loved Devil Wears Prada. I loved 13 Going on 30, but I never really saw myself in that space. And when I got older, I fell in love with makeup and completely changed my career goals around it and pursued the fashion industry. And for someone like me, the fashion industry wasn't the perfect fit. I am very malleable. I'm great at assisting, but I do want to have my own things. And I want to have my own things without being negative, being drained, being pushed into one direction. And so my biggest thing with the fashion industry is the gatekeeping and now with social media, people like Wisdom K and Emma Chamberlain coming through from YouTube and TikTok and coming into the industry, it's kind of like opened up the fashion industry. But that I was before that time. So
Yeah.
I was thinking of a way that I can build my own style of makeup, my own identity within beauty. And as I was thinking that and working with celebrities and doing all of that, I fell in love with working with athletes. A huge reason why I even fell in love with the industry. A lot of my friends play
Okay.
sports, but I have friends that are actors, I have friends that are singers. And so I could have gone anywhere in the industry and worked with them. But athletes are really special. Athletes work no matter what sport they play, whether it's track, tennis, soccer, basketball, volleyball. They work as everyone around them is on their team and they see everyone as a team player.
Okay.
And something that has always been fundamental for me is you're as just as strong as your weakest link. And they operate in that way. So when it comes to the athlete that I'm working with, I've always noticed on set, I get a lot more respect for my position. They give me a lot more respect. They want me around. And on top of that, they treat me as a team player. So they take my suggestions, they take what I'm bringing to the table seriously, and I feel appreciated. Another huge reason why I started working with athletes is I was working with Chloe Pavlik, who is the CGO for Unrivaled now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working with Ariel Chambers, and both of them have their hands in different parts of the industry. And it gave me the opportunity to work with NIL because Chloe had
Mm-hmm.
such a connection with college and high school students, and work with professionals because Ari had such a connection with not just WNBA, but soccer, volleyball, sports in general, gymnastics. So it really gave me the opportunity to spread my wings. My first athlete was Sydney McLaughlin. So it wasn't
Mm.
even a W player.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have had that opportunity. Gatorade wouldn't have known anything about me if it wasn't for Ariel Chambers. So being able to even experience that almost in a safe space, because those are my friends, being able to experience that um, kind of gave me the opportunity to walk in with confidence and walk in and know that I'm being backed by my walking resumes.
Mm-hmm.
So those are kind of the reasons why I stepped into the industry, and then I fell in love with the industry just because of the way that athletes' brains function.
Mm-hmm. The podcast is now part of the Fanatics Creator Program. That means we earn from purchases through our link. I curated a dope storefront for you to shop through for new WNBA merch, NBA merch, NFL merch, doesn't matter. Head over to the link in our description to shop. So over time, how have you developed your style? Do you think there is a style that we will look at and we will immediately know is yours?
I believe so. The industry is shifting, and I do want to work with more mass presenting women because of it. I've always actually wanted to work with mass presenting women, but athletes typically, at least when I started, weren't going onto the court or going onto the field with makeup. Especially still in soccer, they're not going onto the field with makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Volleyball and basketball is changing. And then, of course, you have gymnastics. They do go on with a full face. I love doing a full face. I love doing glam. I love being artistic. But at the same time, this was an industry that was ignored, and what they wanted was being ignored as well. So I think that being able to do a very fresh face, a very natural face, is takes a lot of technique.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something that I was trained so aggressively on in the fashion industry. So it's kind of like second nature for me.
Okay.
And being able to take what I learned from the fashion industry and bring it over to athletes and also listen to what they're saying, what they like, and things like that, kind of gave me the space to essentially create my own style. I'm very big on brows. I really love when the brows are perfectly arched.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very big on skin. I love that when the skin just kind of flows naturally. There's not any really harsh lines. On me, I'll probably be a little bit more expressive with my makeup, but on athletes, I'm very much like skin and very much smooth. Like everyone that comes to me looks like themselves, just a bit more enhanced, more camera ready. And that's why I feel like I would be the perfect makeup artist for mass presenting women. I just think that it would translate very well, especially for shoots and things like that. A good example of a client of mine, Kalia Copper.
Mm-hmm.
The first time we worked together, she was not excited about me doing her makeup, but because we had already kind of built rapport, she allowed me to do her makeup and she really enjoyed it. So I was able to be called back for multiple jobs. And that's kind of like where I feel my style is heading, especially now that so many makeup artists are coming in and they're able to do the glam, they're able to do, the things that Asia is asking for now that she has the language, the things that DiJonai is asking for now that
Mm-hmm.
she has the language and now that she has the skill set as well. And so I feel like, and especially like also, not to cut myself off, but especially like with Angel, like growing in this industry, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of artists are paying attention to what athletes they can attach themselves to. And I never really want to be attached to just one athlete. I want to be able to spread and I want to be able to give athletes the language so that when I'm not able to be there, they're able to advocate for themselves and say, this is what I want. And this is how Danii does it. Which is why my name is Danii Did It. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of like what my style is. It's just very natural. Uh, an accent on the brows. A lot of people will know that I did the makeup by noticing how I arch the brows
The
and things like
brows.
that.
Okay.
So
So with the more masculine presenting people, like how do you get that buy-in? Is it just the rapport? You've worked with them, you've seen them, you talk to them, and they're just like, go ahead? Or is it like a kind of give and take? You do a little bit, and they're like, all right, that's enough.
my biggest thing with them is rapport. I try my best not to like say too much to athletes about what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of course, if they have the opportunity to call on me, then great. I haven't really had that many athletes have the opportunity to call on me yet on that side of things. And my hope is to continue to be in the rooms, continue to be with athletes and continue to be in those spaces so that when brands are looking for makeup artists that they call on me. That way, when the athlete comes in, they're excited, they're comfortable, which is my main goal. And they already recognize me and they know that they don't necessarily have to do too much back and forth. Yeah, that's kind of like my focus is making sure that I can be in those rooms and get to know the brands and get called on by the brands. So usually when I get called on by the brands and then I get these opportunities to work with athletes, that's kind of when I can choose how the makeup is
Okay.
session is going to go because we already have that rapport. And it's not necessarily like, oh, I don't want makeup because they see me. So they'll at least want to sit down in my chair and hear me out. Or I can at least convince them because we do have that relationship. There are a lot of athletes who would just say yes.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney, Natisha, they would say yes. But there are still some athletes that would say not just no to me, but like no in general. And that's because of the rapport and because of seeing me in these spaces and because of going out and coming to the games and hanging out with these athletes and having a relationship. I can have that conversation.
Okay.
So my biggest thing is getting brands to trust me and
Okay.
brands to buy in on me.
So outside of makeup, how do you define your personal style, and then how do you use makeup to kind of accentuate that?
I've kind of taken a step away from using makeup to accentuate my personal style.
Okay.
Of course, like when I do my makeup, I'll do it all the way up. But my biggest focus has been skincare and hair. I always dye my hair crazy colored. That way
Mm-hmm.
people like they know it's me. But then on top of that, I'll like style it like, with jewelry. I'll style it with like eyewear, anything like that. And I'll wear something, something loud or something a little bit more asymmetrical or different. and kind of keep my skin fresh and take care of my skin and make sure that my skin is on point, because I think that when people see me as a makeup artist show up in my regular skin, it gives them a little bit more comfort and confidence that
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to take my makeup skills and just do whatever and just turn them into,
A different
drag
person.
queens or
Yeah,
anything
yeah, yeah.
like that. Yeah. So I feel like that's the biggest thing. And then using certain opportunities like All Star Weekend or finals or something that's bigger to wear my makeup so that they do have opportunities to see me in makeup. But I try my best to be around athletes with pretty much a bare face and kind of show that I'm a makeup artist in different ways.
Okay. What? Because this is a little foreign to me, but I'm going to ask the question because the girlies might know what you're talking about. What are a few of your favorite, man, what's it called? Not pieces of makeup, but like, what's the verbiage? Like,
What are my favorite products?
there you go.
I love brushes. I have
Okay.
I have about 400 brushes now.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember the first time I have a friend that played. I went to Maryland and I have a friend that played for Maryland. And I remember the first time I ordered brushes. I ordered 60 brushes. I don't have any of those brushes anymore. And I was just so excited. And she was like, "You're insane." I am. When it comes to brushes, I'm insane. So brushes are my favorite. I think that you can do anything with brushes. I also think that you can do anything with your hands, but I really do
You like brushes?
worked really hard to really understand brushes and really understand what they're capable of. And so they're like a part of me, they're extensions of my hands. My favorite products would probably be, so my very, very favorite brow product is a brow pen by NYX Cosmetics. It's incredible. It gives you the most perfect brow hairs, and
Hmm.
I always have to have at least one in my kit. And I always also have to have one for myself. That's my favorite brow product. I love eyeshadow. I think eyeshadow is just, everyone who loves makeup truly really loves eyeshadow. Danessa Myricks has a skin tint called Yummy Skin. I just think the formula is flawless. I love it so much. MAC Cosmetics has a powder called Mineralized Skin Finish.
Hmm.
I swear by it. I like have every shade in my kit, and I always like I run through it like I run through about four a year for just me.
Okay.
So, well, technically eight a year because I use two different shades, but I think that that's the perfect powder for blending, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. Um, Huda Beauty has a loose powder that I really, really, really like for setting, and Urban Decay's setting spray. I
Hmm.
love Urban Decay's setting spray. I like one size too, but I don't really like. So one size has like this aerosol. It's like
Okay.
yeah, okay. So it just it's like a continuous spray, and I always feel like I'm choking. Urban Decay, that spray has been around for so long, and I just have so much trust in that company.
Hmm.
So it's my go-to. I'm always trying to get a bottle. And I don't know. I like Urban Decay as a brand. I like their eyeshadows. I like their glitters. I like their like fun makeup, I guess. And I
Yeah.
also like they have a good foundation line. But for the most part, I love companies that really play in makeup, like have eye like crazy funky eyeliners and crazy like eyeshadows and glitters and blushes and things like that. My favorite blushes right now are from Urban Decay. I have like three in backstock. So yeah. But yeah, mostly like when I think about doing someone's face, I'm thinking about the skincare of it all. So I'm thinking
Hmm.
about the sunscreen, and I'm thinking about anything to really just emulsify the products or like to soften the products. Danessa Myricks has a really good product. It's called Beauty Oil or Beauty
Okay.
Glow or something like that. It's really pretty to look at, but then also It comes in a little dropper and it just mixes with every foundation I have. It mixes with everything and it just softens things. And sometimes I can use it to kind of not necessarily take off the makeup, but like dial the makeup down, even with
Mm-hmm.
powders and stuff. It's really incredible. It's my secret weapon. That and brushes are my secret weapon. So I'm a product junkie for sure.
Okay. So we see DiJonai, and I know for the longest, people were like, drop the routine. How do you do it? Because you see her play and
Mm-hmm.
she goes hard, but that face
Mm-hmm.
does not budge.
I know.
How?
Several things. I think a big thing for DiJonai and for athletes in general is training. Not everyone is going to be able to out train their sweat, but you
Ah,
can get to a point where you're not. A lot of W players aren't sweating that much. A lot of soccer players aren't sweating that much either. I think that's the biggest thing is is working with the products. So I'm always talking about skincare, making sure because I don't ever want anyone to buy a product and say it didn't work for me.
mm-hmm.
It will work for you, but you have to work with it. So DiJonai's case, I would compare DiJonai's routine to everybody else's regular daily life because everyone else is not an athlete.
Got
And I
it.
think people see DiJonai running around, they're like, oh, so I can wear this and run around. If you're not running around every day, then the routine is not going to work for you.
Okay. Okay.
So that's one. DiJonai's routine is really focused on concealer.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, her skin is iconic. We can start there. But concealer and one size products. And I think one size just the way that one size was even started, it was started by Patrick Starr. There's a bunch of names. There's a bunch of people in the industry. Their names end with Starr, start with Starr. So I was like, I want to make sure I get it right. Patrick Starr started one size, and Patrick focuses heavily on almost like a drag queen makeup
Mm-hmm.
infused into every day. So it's
Okay.
very beautiful. It's very soft. Everything is very well blended, but the eyes are very powerful. Like there's a lot going on makeup wise. There's a lot of layers of makeup. And in order to hold that makeup down, you need products that are going to work with you. And I think that one size,
Does that.
regardless of whatever you're getting, it's going to work with you. One size has a really great setting spray, and they also have that setting spray infused with a sunscreen. And I think that that's beautiful because then you can apply sunscreen throughout the day, which is protecting your skin for over the course of your life. So I think that one size really like they hit the nail on that with that and their powders. And we're talking about longevity as well. So that's why I'm focusing so much on one size. When it comes to like being an artist and having certain techniques, there are certain products that you might like, but it might not give you the same longevity. With
Mm-hmm.
one size, the biggest thing is that once you set your face, it's set. So there's no like
Going back. Yeah. Yeah.
movement or anything like
Yeah.
that. And I personally, because I'm an artist, like a bit of movement, like a bit of breathability, especially if I'm going to be with you all day. If I need to tweak anything, or if
Mm-hmm.
like if they need to take their makeup off for a different part of the shoot, then I'm going to want something that's going to be a little bit more, give me a little bit more wiggle room. One size won't do that. And so she's on the court using one size. So her
Okay.
face isn't going to move.
Got it.
I believe she also uses blush from one size. And so, again, using products from the same line is really going to make the product just work even better. Um, I'm trying to think of what else she uses. I'm not sure what concealer she uses, but yeah. So I do know that she's using like mostly one brand, and she's using one of the most known brands for longevity,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the most known brands for like really holding everything and making everything stick. And she's on the court running up and down. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that that just gives more to that brand.
Okay.
But it also depends on because she might not use that brand forever. Like sometimes you get used to something and you switch or anything like that. It really depends on your skincare and it depends on what you're doing. So if you're like if you've never worked out a day in your life and you're like I want to do my makeup and do this like workout video, your makeup's probably gonna move because of the sweat and the oil buildup and just
Mm-hmm.
like the uncomfortability of your skin under all that makeup and under duress. So if you're looking for a routine for going to work every day, and every day you go to work, this isn't something new that your body is experiencing, then I think following a routine like that would help.
Okay.
And she definitely has a lot of tutorials up on her TikTok and I think on Instagram and stuff, where she showcases how she does her makeup as well.
Your top 5 best dressed WNBA players. But since you're an MUA, I will let you do, you can do it from a makeup sense, like 5 players whose makeup you love.
Ooh, I think I'm always doing it from a makeup sense. Okay, I want to do both.
Okay.
Because I love this question. I try to talk about outfits a lot because I lived in the fashion world for so long and I just know so many brands and so many designers. So like fashion for me is so important. And I try to like mix that into like my content and stuff. But everyone's like, you're a makeup artist. Anyways, so I want to do both.
Okay.
So top 5 best dressed athletes. I obviously have to say the 3 that were invited to the Met because they were invited to the Met for a reason. Asia Wilson, Paige Beckers, and Angel Reese. In no particular order, because sometimes it's Paige, sometimes it's Asia, sometimes it's Angel. And then I have to add Rakia. I have to add Rakia Jackson, and I have to add Kalia Copper.
Okay.
Solid. I think Rakia plays a lot with her fashion, and I think Kali is the best dressed in the league.
I love
maybe like I think some runner-ups. Tosh is really good. Yeah. Oh, Tip is really good. I love the way she dressed. Arike is really good. But those are my top 5.
Okay, that's a solid list. I like it.
Thank you.
I like it.
And then a makeup standpoint, this is coming off the top of my head, so forgive me, but Izzy Harrison. I think Izzy has great skin, and her hair and makeup is always just on point. DiJonai Carrington, of course, DiJonai. Angel Reese. I think that her relationship with her makeup artist and just her skin, since I met her, she's just really leveled up on her skincare, just everything. And when I met her, she was, I think, a sophomore or junior in college. So my expectations, like, especially where we were in the industry, she's completely changed the industry as well.
Yeah.
So I think that she has nothing better to do but to grow and but to get better at everything. But I'm just so blown away by her skin, and I'm so proud of the relationship she's formed with her makeup artist because I think that she looks stunning every single time.
Agreed.
So who have I? Oh, Izzy, DiJonai, Angel, Rakia. I think Rakia plays a lot with makeup, and she's still kind of finding her style and finding her fit and things like that. But the girl is so beautiful. And then who's last? I feel like I'm missing someone makeup wise. I definitely feel like I'm not thinking about somebody. And we're gonna get off of this call, and it's gonna frustrate me. I don't want to just give the last one away. You know what? I'm gonna give it to her, Kiki.
Okay.
Kiki's been doing like her thing, and I feel like she hasn't been getting a lot of attention. For
you know what? We got
looks.
2 Kikis now. Kiki Ariafin or Kiki Rice? I think it's Ariafin.
God. Yeah. It's Kiki. Yeah, Kiki Rice. She is in the league. Oh my God, they're growing up so fast. Yeah. No, Kiki Ariafin.
Okay.
I think that she's just stunning, and I think she's signed with Skechers. I just saw an ad for that. Yeah, I just think that she always just looks so stunning, and I'm really looking forward to her looks. I think that during Unrivaled, if I'm not mistaken, she did like a blonde. She's really been playing, and I don't feel like she's been getting the attention for it. She's been getting more so attention for how she's performing on the court and not necessarily how she's performing off the court. And so I'm just going to give it to her.
Okay.
There's so many names I could say. Monique, like there's so many names I could say, but I feel confident in my list.
I like that list. That's a nice list. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Fun question.
Okay.
You have 7 minutes in a store,
Mm.
a makeup store.
Okay, Sephora.
What's the store, and
Oh,
what's the first thing you're grabbing?
oh no, I already said Sephora, but the store, ah,
No
Ulta,
budget. No budget, but it's only 7 minutes.
Ulta, no
Okay.
budget. First thing I'm grabbing.
Yep.
Oh no, I kind of want to change now. Okay, Ulta, no budget. I'm first thing I'm grabbing is Billie Eilish's perfume. I Someone walked by me a couple weeks ago, and it was the
Hmm.
first time I smelt it, and I was like, "This smells like a miracle in a bakery in heaven." And so it's been like living rent free in my head. Oh God, that's such a hard question. That's the first thing I'm grabbing if I go to Ulta. If I go to Sephora, the first thing I'm grabbing is a Forever Mood candle. I'm really into scents right now, and
Hmm.
I always love to smell good. I love when everything smells good, and so those there's two specific scents that I'm thinking about. One is in candle
Hmm.
form, and one is in perfume form. One is at Ulta, and one is Sephora. That's
That's
the
a
first
four.
thing I'm grabbing,
Yeah. Okay.
and I'm not looking at the register
Okay.
when I put it down.
Very last question. Promise.
Hmm.
Finish this sentence. Style is.
Style is essential.
Perfect.